Hi! On the Woodpecker today, Renée and I are restoring chairs. We have 4 old metal and wood chairs in our kitchen. They look more like cafeteria chairs than anything else. 3 of them are light colored, and the last one has a dark tint. And the canning is destroyed. But the worst part of it is that Roomba is always getting stuck in their metal legs. We're really fed up with it, so we decided to do something drastic about it. So,
we took something like this and transformed it into this.
This chair is not exactly the same style as our other chairs, but it came from the same lot that we picked up in the garbage. So, I sanded the chairs, and Alain sprayed some lacquer, and now the chairs are done. Of course, this wasn't as fast and easy as that. 2 years ago, I started stripping the paint and sanding the chairs. While doing that, I sprained a muscle in my elbow, so I had to stop. 2 months ago, I decided to finish the job. So I continued stripping the paint and sanding the rest. One thing for sure, this was a very long job. After checking all the pieces, I noticed that we were missing some rungs, so Alain had to turn some.
we were very lucky. The missing rugs were very simple to make, otherwise I don't know what we would have done. My turning skill is just a notch above my carving skills. Some rungs need a hole in the center, so I route a round groove in the middle of a scrap piece. Then I remove some wood so the rung can rest on the groove. When the rung sits perfectly, I drill the center hole. Then I cut them to the right length. The ends are a little too fat, so I plane them to the right size. I need to remove the glue from the rungs that are already there so we can reglue the new one. On one chair, a rung was too damaged. So we had to remove it. When the rung is cut or broken, I just drill in the middle and remove the rest with a chisel.
We're finally ready to glue the chairs. Alain mixes a batch of epoxy and thickens it with silica powder. When we glue the rungs, we put a small coat of glue inside the holes and on the rungs ends, and we assemble it. For the legs, it's another story. The holes are so oversized that we need to use a lot more glue. Then we put everything together. We end up with a big mess of glue. But this way, we're sure that the legs won't wobble anymore. We put this to dry and put a panel on top of the legs and add 2 cement blocks on top. Then, Alain checks if both legs have the same angle. If not, we move the blocks until both legs have the same angle. Then we leave this to dry for 24 hours. When the glue is dry, I'm left with a big mess to clean up around the legs.
Some back arches are broken, so I have to remove a little bit of wood on both ends so they can fit in the same seat holes. But if the back arch is smaller, the back rungs must be too. So I cut them and redo their end tenons. This also means that I also need to shorten the back plate. We're ready to glue the back of some chairs. We begin by plugging the arch hole from the bottom of the chair. Then comes the epoxy and the assembly. When this is dry, just like for the legs, Renée has to clean the mess the glue left. Some legs are just loose in their holes. For those ones, I use chair glue. I like this glue. It's really liquid and seeps everywhere. I often use it to glue a cracked board. But we now encounter another problem. We have 7 complete chairs, not 8. Who in their right mind wants an odd number of chairs? Certainly not my wife. So I look to find some pieces to make another chair that we nickname the Frankenstein chair.
After finding almost all the pieces we need to make another chair, I strip the paint off. Again, Alain mixes some epoxy and glues a new seat. When the glue is dry, I sand it smooth. We were unable to locate another rung, so Alain must turn another one. That's it. Frankenstein is finished. Just kidding again. We are left with just one arch and it's broken in 2 pieces. So Alain decides to make a new one. We put a walnut piece in the tub for 1 hour. Meanwhile, Alain traces a mold using another chair and makes the pattern.
After soaking for 1 hour, I put the strip inside the steaming box I made from ABS. I leave this to steam for 1 hour and try to bend it. But it breaks like plate glass. I was so happy. I said to myself that's probably because I left it in the tub for only an hour. So I put 2 other pieces in the tub for 4 days and put them to steam for 2 hours. Here's the result. Another great success. I try it again. I leave a piece to soak in the pool for 1 hour and 7 in the steamer. This time it didn't break, but the fiber tore apart. Then I decide to find some books about the subject and read them. The week after, I modified my steamer, insulated it, Wait until the temperature is ideal and leave it to steam for 2 hours. I bend the wood with a metal strap to prevent it from breaking, and here's the result. So it must be true that kiln-dried wood can't be bent. So I decide to cut several strips to make the back arch. I cut some strips on the bandsaw and send them to the thickness of the other ones. Then, like I did for my duck baskets, I glue the strips together and clamp this to my mold. When the glue is dry, I plane both sides straight. Some strips are not properly glued, so I fix this. To be sure the gap is closed, I remove the excess glue so I can see better. When the glue is dry, I sand both the exterior and interior of the arch. The sides are sanded with the drum sander. Finally, I can use my new beading tool to make the bead around the front edge of the arch. On the back, I route a round over. The ends are square. With a spoke shave, I make them round. Then I drill the holes for the backplate and 2 rungs. I need to cut some rungs shorter and redo their shapes thinner. I dry assemble the back so I can drill the true holes for the 2 last rungs. I make the final dry assembly to check that everything is okay and cut both ends of the arch to the right length. Now it's true. We really glue the back of Frankenstein.
It's time now to put the finish on all those chairs. Alain made a test on this broken backplate with different combinations, and I prefer the one with stain, shellac, and lacquer. I began by cleaning all the chairs with wood alcohol. I spread an even coat of stain everywhere on the chairs. Walnut lightens with time, so the stain will make it less apparent. We can see the small color differences between the 2 stained chairs and the unstained one. When the stain is dry, I scrub all the chairs with a soft abrasive pad and dust them. Then, Alain puts 2 coats of shellac on each one of them. Another sanding with 4/0 steel wool, followed by another dusting, makes them ready to receive 4 coats of lacquer. The last thing to do before using them is to put some sliders underneath each leg. Here are our new chairs in our kitchen. I hope you like our restoration and hope you'll be there for the next episode of the Woodpecker.